Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Wattson, and this is SCVi and iLEADSchools Eye on the Valley. And happy St. Patrick's Day, happy March Madness. You know, little known fact, Bing Crosby was actually singing about the middle of March because this is indeed the most wonderful time of the year. We've got college basketball just going absolutely crazy. And a few of us are still happy because a few of us did pick Princeton beating Arizona yesterday. And like I said, it is St. Patrick's Day. It's a Friday. It's going to be in the 70s. That's right. Southern California is back. So it's going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be a great show. If you know our show, Eye on the Valley, you know that we're brought to you by SCVi and iLEADSchools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've also got a fully accredited online school that's TK through 12th grade. Yes, they can. Look into it. We also have a burgeoning homeschool program called iLEAD Exploration. For more information on any of our schools, be they classroom-based, virtual, hybrid, anywhere along the spectrum, check us out at iLEADSchools.org. That is iLEADSchools.org for more information on all of our schools. So yeah, we've got our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But as the show says, we keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we do so while trying to bring a smile to your face. It's no fun if you're not giggling and chuckling once in a while, so hopefully we'll achieve that too. We do have an amazing show for you today, like I said. Really excited about today's show. In just a moment, I'll be joined by Nicole Miller. She is president of the SCVi School Board as well as the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita. It is Women's History Month. Women's, I think is. Yeah, I used to be an English teacher, I promise. It's Women's History Month, and we'll be talking about what Zonta is doing to empower women in our community. A little bit later on in the show, we'll be talking to Dr. Omar Torres from College of the Canyons about some of the great things that College of the Canyons continues to do as they innovate and continue to find better ways to serve their students. And then in hour number 2, you will meet Lisa Latimer, school director at iLEAD Agua Dulce. It is school admission season for your TK through high school students, and Lisa will be here to talk about the amazing iLEAD Agua Dulce. And if you're thinking, Matt, a school's a school. Well, if you're thinking that, you ain't seen iLEAD Agua Dulce. You ain't never seen a school like this. And yes, Big T is back. It is March Madness and St. Patrick's Day, like I said. So I'm sure Big T will have lots of related fun when he comes in. It's going to be a great show. So here we go. As I said, my first guest is Nicole Miller. Nicole has been a lifelong volunteer for over more than a decade. She has supported and volunteered at her kids' school, Santa Clarita Valley International Charter School, mentoring the Lego robotics team and leading parent volunteers through various parent organizations. Since 2018, Nicole has been a member of the school's governing board and president since 2020. Nicole also volunteers with the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita Valley, aiding in their mission of improving the lives of women and girls through service and advocacy. As president of the club and past president of their foundation, Nicole is a leader in the development of the service and advocacy projects they do, and is integral in the strategic direction of the club. As president, Nicole is also a representative of the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita Valley locally and internationally, and she's quite loyal. Recently, as a delegate at Zonta's district conference. Nicole previously enjoyed success working as a pensions benefit assistant manager with the Producer Writers Guild of America pension plan. Nicole holds a bachelor's in mathematics from Hamilton College and lives in Castaic with her family, which includes her husband Tad, their child Keen, their 2 Siamese cats, and a bearded dragon. Nicole, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
It's always a pleasure. What's your dragon's name?
Van Dyke, since it's a type of mustache, beard.
Right, yeah. I love it. Okay, Van Dyke the Dragon. Very cool. I don't know why, but I feel like that's a kind of an Irish thing to do on St. Patrick's Day, is have a bearded dragon. I wonder if bearded dragon sales spike on St. Patrick's Day like bunnies do on Easter. Alrighty, so Nicole, March is Women's History Month and the perfect time to have you join us. So, can you tell our listeners a little bit about what Zonta is? What's your mission? What's your purpose? What does Zonta do for women and girls in Santa Clarita?
Absolutely. Well, Zonta, you touched on it a little bit earlier. We empower women and girls through our service and advocacy projects. Zonta does envision a world in which women's rights are recognized as human rights, and women and girls have access to all resources, and where no woman lives in fear of violence. So we're out there doing the work to help make a difference and build a better world for women and girls.
I love that. So Zonta is local. You're president of the local Zonta Club, but it's also an international organization. Tell us a little bit about the history of Zonta and the history of the Santa Clarita division.
Sure. Zonta International was founded in 1919, so it's over 100 years old now. Started in Buffalo, New York, about the same time, as you probably recall, that women's suffrage was happening in that area. Which is also where I'm originally from, is central New York, so I feel like that kind of attaches it a little bit closer to my heart as well. But Zonta has been helping women around the world for over 100 years. The first service project that Zonta did was actually in 1923. The first international project was to fund care for 115,000 orphan children and women in Smyrna, Turkey. Oh, wow. So when you think about what they must have had to overcome at that time to do that kind of a service project, it's really quite incredible to think about. Currently, Zonta International has consultative status with the UN and also participatory status in the Council of Europe. And Zonta partners with organizations like UNICEF USA to carry out its international service projects throughout the world.
Wow, that's really amazing. And you mentioned that service project, that first service project in 1923, during a time when I'm assuming they were still deeply involved in the struggle for women's suffrage and other women's rights, but still having that heart and drive to reach out to women and girls in other countries as well. What an amazing project to tackle early on in their history.
Yes, absolutely. And currently, Zonta's in over 62 countries with almost 30,000 members. Wow. So it's pretty far-reaching. And our local club here was, we actually are going to celebrate our 50th anniversary next year. So we've been helping women and girls locally for about half as long as Zonta International. So
wow, that's amazing. I didn't realize you'd been in this valley for almost half a century. That is fantastic. So it seems to me kind of obvious your attraction to the club. What would draw you to that, being from New York yourself, like you said, but you could have joined the Bills Mafia or something like that. Is there something in particular that made you want to get involved with the Zonta Club?
Well, I had always coached and mentored young women, through soccer, softball, and that was always really important to me, to show young women that they could really achieve anything that they set their mind to, and that there were no limits other than, maybe their own mental limits. And I really, to me, that was a big driving force in joining Zonta here. And when I was looking to kind of expand my volunteer service past SCVi, which you already mentioned, I wanted to reach out into the community and help others in the ways that I had women before me help me. So
that is great, and that's I think probably the strongest way we pass on success is giving a hand up where it passes down through the generations that way. So now your role as board president is a bit unique. What is it that I can imagine it's a lot of work, but what is it that you do that makes it a little bit more unique than being, I don't want to say just a member, because every member of Zonta is very important and impactful, but it's unique being president. What is it that you do as president of Zonta?
Well, as president, of course, I lead our business meetings. I don't want to say I personally lead the direction of the club, but I arrange for us to have meetings, which we are having soon, to determine the direction, determine the programs and the projects that we'll do in the community. I ensure that, our members have a place within Zonta that they feel really passionate about, where they feel like they can contribute. And I always, make sure that our members feel like Zonta is giving back to them also. And I am a representative of our club in the community, doing things like this or any type of event. And I also am representative of our club in the Zonta International world. So when we have convention, which is the international gathering of all the Zonta clubs, I represent our club at that convention, as well as within our district, which is a little bit more of a local gathering of Zonta clubs.
Wow, and we are lucky to have you representing us and representing the women of Santa Clarita. And one of the things that I know y'all do in forwarding the cause of women is recognizing women that are doing great things, accomplishing great things professionally, personally, and also recognizing women in service. You've got an event coming up. Can you tell us about the Women in Service Award?
Absolutely. Our Women in Service event is on March 25th at the Canyon Country Community Center. And today is the last day to buy tickets if you're interested in going. But at this event, we honor and recognize outstanding women volunteers in the community. This year we have 20 women and one young woman that we will be recognizing. Other nonprofit organizations nominate an outstanding volunteer that they would like to be recognized at this event. We have organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club, Circle of Hope, Seroptimus Clubs, Carousel Ranch, Bridge to Home. Basically, all of the organizations that you hear about on a daily basis that are doing great work in this community have nominated a volunteer for this award. And at this event, we do give out one award named after a former member called the Carmen Sorrow Award, who exemplifies her outstanding volunteerism in the community.
That is beautiful, and I want to talk about the specific women that are nominated, but before we do, you mentioned that today is the last day to buy tickets for the Women in Service Award. You said taking place over at the Canyon Country Community Center. I think that's C4 is what they call it, which I love. It's a beautiful center, an amazing place to attend an event. You and I believe, attended the State of the City luncheon there recently. Just a gorgeous venue. Today's the last day to buy tickets, so how can people get those tickets? Where do they get them?
They can go to our website at SCVizonta.org, and there's links to purchase your tickets there. Frankly, if somebody if you know me and want to give me a call, I can help you out, but SCVizonta.org.
Fantastic. And let's give folks your cell phone over the air. No, let's not do that. SCVizonta.org is where you can get tickets for the Women in Service Award Banquet. So check that out. Do it now while we continue to talk with Nicole Miller, president of the Santa Clarita Valley Zonta Club, as well as president of the SCVi School Board. You mentioned you've got 21 amazing women who are nominated this year. Can you tell us a little bit about them? I know one of them is actually a senior at your school, SCVi.
Yes. The Boys and Girls Club has nominated, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say their names here locally.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So the senior, Naija, she was nominated by the Boys and Girls Club as their outstanding volunteer. She's volunteered there for 4 years, which is amazing. We have other volunteers from the other organizations that I mentioned, volunteers who are doing all sorts of work in the community to really make an impact for women and girls.
Yeah, and you're right. Naija is an amazing young lady. I know she's involved in a lot of different projects at school, outside of school. She's actually going to be heading up to Sacramento next week with KHTS and a lot of other representatives in the community to be lobbying our legislators up there. So yeah, all of these women, amazing women in their own right. It's going to be a great event. Again, you can get tickets for the Women in Service Award Banquet at scvzonta.org. Right?
Yes.
All righty. So it seems like Zonta's got a lot of opportunities this month in honoring Women in History and Women's History Month. I may pronounce this wrong. The Virginia, is it Rage?
Mm-hmm.
Virginia Rage Memorial Scholarship applications are up on your website, and the Zonta Community Grants are also accepting applications this month. Can you tell our listeners what those two grants are for and who they benefit?
Yeah, the Virginia Rage Memorial Scholarship is also named after a former member of our club.
Okay.
It's available to mature women, at least over the age of 40,
Right.
40 or older, to help them achieve emotional, social, and economic independence following some sort of life-altering event. And those applications are available also on our website, the SCVizonta.org, and those applications are due on March 30th. The Community Grants Program is a program in which we give grants to local nonprofit organizations that to fund a service project that is in line with our mission. And those applications are due March 27th.
Okay.
We also have another one that you didn't mention, which is called the Joanne Rodriguez Scholarship, which is also named in memory of one of our former members, which is for women attending COC in the accounting field. And who've demonstrated, outstanding potential there. And those applications are due on March 31st. So we have all three of these awards that we give out that are, the application deadline is approaching. So, check out our website and apply for any of those awards. We also have another award that benefits young people. The application period for that has closed, but that's a Young Women in Public Affairs Award, which is for young women who are involved in community service and volunteerism.
Gosh, you guys are doing so much, and I think it's only natural when we recognize just the massive amount of women of influence and power and success in our valley, and I know Zonta has contributed to a lot of that success, and then of course those women are giving back. But I can't help but think that there's women out there who know that they have something that they can give back. So if folks are listening who want to join Zonta or want to contribute to the mission and some of these scholarships, where can they learn more?
They can learn more on our website at scvizonta.org. We also, our social media accounts on our Facebook and Instagram pages. We do have a YouTube channel, and we're on LinkedIn as well.
Right.
So you can hopefully find us everywhere. That's our goal. And we have a lot of members locally, so you can, you can always talk to anyone that you know is a member.
Yeah, absolutely, because just about everywhere you go these days, there's an influential member of Zonta who can give you a lot more information. Again, the website is scvizonta.org, and that's where you can get tickets to the banquet. Tell me again the name. I've lost it.
Women in Service.
Women in
Celebration.
Service. It's so difficult to remember. The Women in Service celebration coming up. Today's the last day to buy tickets at scvizonta.org. Nicole Miller is president of the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita, as well as the president of the school board of Santa Clarita Valley International Charter School. She's joining us this morning. More with Nicole as we celebrate Women in History Month. After this, I am Matt Wattson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLEADSchools, Eye on the Valley, on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Wattson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLEADSchools, Eye on the Valley. I'm joined this morning by President of the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita and President of the SCVi School Board, Nicole Miller. Zonta does so much, Nicole. You were telling us about all the different things that you have going on to give back and to promote and advocate for the continued success of women here in our valley, and then also to honor those women who are doing all these amazing things. And gosh, y'all do so much. During the break, you were telling me even more about what some things that Zonta has going on. Can you share with our audience?
Yes, absolutely. Well, in thinking more about Women's History Month, I realized that we didn't even touch upon Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, very famous woman in history, was a member of Zonta, and there is a fellowship that Zonta International established in her honor for women in the aerospace industry that are obtaining their PhD. It's actually a $10,000 fellowship going towards their education. And each year, Zonta International gives out about 35 of these awards, one of which is funded by our local club here every year. We do have 2 previous Amelia Earhart Fellows that are members of our club. One of those Amelia Earhart Fellows, Dr. Sharon Langenbeck, is actually the immediate past international president. So these women have gone on to accomplish really amazing things, and the Amelia Earhart Fellowship has really helped them in their career. This year is the 85th anniversary of this Amelia Earhart Fellowship, which is pretty incredible and exciting as a Zonchan.
Well, and I love it. Zonchan. I love the adjective. Yes, or I guess that's a noun. But I love that you're doing so much work in the field of aerospace, an area historically, traditionally, just absolutely dominated by men. And even today in 2023, it's an area that is so difficult for women to get into for more than just financial reasons. But I love that you're helping women get their PhD in aerospace and move into this field and take their rightful place. I love that. And you've got some other stuff going on at some of the local campuses as well.
Yes, if you're a young person and you're interested in joining Zonta, we do have student youth clubs at 3 local high schools. They're called Z Clubs, Canyon High School, Golden Valley, and West Ranch High School. And those clubs, just like Zonta, are open to anyone. And it's for students to be able to have the opportunity to do the work similar to Zonta and carry out Zonta's mission to build a better world for women and girls. We also just recently established a Golden Z Club at College of the Canyons, and that club is forming. So if you're a College of the Canyons student and you're interested in that, please seek out the Golden Z Club at College of the Canyons. And just like Zonta clubs are a network of Zonta clubs around the world, Z Clubs and Golden Z Clubs are also part of a network of clubs around the world. And what's pretty exciting for our club here is that the Golden Z Club at College of the Canyons is the only one in the state of California.
Wow, are you kidding? Oh, that's great. Wow, gosh, y'all are doing so much and making such an incredible impact. We really appreciate that. But your work as president of the Zonta Club is not the only thing that occupies your time. Right. In addition to being Zonta Board President and sitting on the Zonta Foundation Board, you're also the president of the school board of SCVi Charter School. Can you tell us why you decided to join a charter school board?
When we initially started, going to SCVi, my child initially started going to SCVi, we were all in, and we still are all in. Everything that SCVi offers, from, the true project-based learning to the individualized, instruction, and just the fact that from the very beginning I felt that the staff and the facilitators just completely understood my child and just really knew, who they were. All of that just throughout the years continued to propel me to want to be able to, in some way, help everyone else have that opportunity. So anyone that, like me, a parent that was thinking that their child, might need something different, or they wanted to have a choice about where their child was going to school, I wanted to have some part in that, of being able to continue to make that available for everyone in our valley.
Yeah. Well, thank you. What a great promotion for our school. We did invite you in because of your role with Zonta and because it's Women's History Month, but March is also Arts Education Month. There's a lot going on in March, and I know arts education is very important to you as well, and it's a huge area of focus at SCVi. What are some of the arts education opportunities that Keen, your kid, has been able to take advantage of at SCVi?
Keen has been a continued devotee to the theater program at SCVi since about 4th grade. And because of my history of volunteerism as well, I have also been a devotee of the theater program. So, Keen has done some amazing work with the theater program, which I completely feel like I need to mention the theater facilitators,
Please
Cordy
do,
and Kevin,
yeah.
amazing. And, everyone that has supported SCVi's theater program. Recently, I was mentioning Nyasia earlier, but recently Nyasia and Keen played opposite one another in A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I just thought that the theater program at SCVi brought A Midsummer Night's Dream to life for me in a way that someone who doesn't always get Shakespeare really could understand and feel. So, I mean, to me, that's exactly what theater's about. So, I thought that they did a phenomenal job, all of the kids in that production.
All of the productions at SCVi are really high quality. I always look forward to the different stage productions at SCVi. I want to support our school, but I also enjoy the productions they put on. And it seems like every single time I go out to watch, they just blow me away and continue to surprise me as they up the bar. You mentioned that you've become an SCVi theater devotee, so you support as a mom, but you're doing so much, Nicole. You're president of Zonta, you're president of the school board. That keeps you plenty busy, not to mention everything that you're doing with your family outside of school and Zonta, but you're also working to support the theater program. What do you do in helping out there?
Currently, what I do is obviously support, but you'll find me at theater shows selling tickets or helping, sell concessions or supporting, the producer directors in any way that I can. I have in the past sewn costumes and helped, helped corral children, especially when they were younger. But help provide the rehearsal meals or pick up, meals. I mean, basically, I am the mom that whatever they need help with, I help with. So I love doing that. I think the theater at SCVi is such a family environment, inclusive, and just treats everyone with respect and love. And that feeling is something that I think is it's obviously attainable because it's happening,
Sure.
but I do think it's rare, and I keep following it and going after it every opportunity that I get. So I hope that my kid remains involved in theater, and I think that's going to be the case. But even if not, I will continue to help because I just absolutely love supporting the theater program there. I think it's one of the things that really sets SCVi apart from other schools.
Yeah, so you're not just Keen's mom, you're the theater mom.
I am the theater mom too. Yes.
I love that. And you mentioned the family feel. That's something that I noticed my very first day on campus at SCVi, and from time to time I have occasion to lead tours there, and people say the same thing. It is such a family feel, not just in the theater, but school-wide. We've got TK through 12th grade at SCVi, and fewer than 100 students. It makes it so easy to be a family where parents are on campus every day, whether they're helping out in classrooms, sewing costumes, selling tickets, or doing any of the amazing things, and we learn to adopt each other's kids. I remember that first day on campus, somebody said, "Oh, and you're going to be Facebook friends with all your families and things like that." And it's true. It is just such a warm family feeling, and that's something that contributes to, yes, the great feeling and connection, but then also it builds tremendous safety. I remember going to school. I went to a small high school here in town, but still there were so many people that didn't know me, and it seems like everybody on campus at SCVi not only knows every learner, knows them first and last name, knows their parents. It's a beautiful family feeling, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And it's definitely not because I'm on the board at SCVi, but, because well before that happened, everyone knew who my kid was, who I was, and if there was anything going wrong that day, knew to talk to me about it so that, my child could remain safe and secure and happy. And, you're definitely right that knowing who the kids are, who's supposed to be there, who's not supposed to be there, and if a child is going through something, they can be supported so that everyone remains safe. I think is a really great point about it.
Yeah, people notice it's tough to hide. Safe, secure, happy, learning, relevant, rigorous stuff. Shameless plug. I can't just talk so much about our school and not mention that SCVi is enrolling for next fall, and in fact, I think there are still a couple of spots available if folks want to move over now. The website is iLEADSantaclarita.org, iLEADSantaclarita.org, or you know what, just Google SCVi. It's the top hit. We've got great search engine optimization. It's the top hit. Google SCVi. You can give them a call, set up a tour. Producer Sarah actually might lead that tour for you and get your child enrolled. We've got something for everyone. Nicole Miller is president of the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita and the Santa Clarita Valley International SCVi School Board. Thank you so much for all you do for women and everyone here in our city. We really appreciate it. Nicole, have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.
When we get back, we'll be talking to Dr. Omar Torres from COC. Stick around. I'm Matt Wattson. You're listening to SCVi and iLEADSchools Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Wattson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and iLEADSchools Eye on the Valley. Our next guest is Dr. Omar Torres from College of the Canyons. Dr. Torres has worked at COC since 2010, where he first began as the Dean of Mathematics, Sciences, and Engineering. He later also assumed additional responsibilities over the Division of Health Professionals and Public Safety. He now serves the college as Assistant Superintendent and Vice President of Instruction. Dr. Torres did his undergrad work at Texas A&M and got his master's in chemistry from UCLA. Go Bruins! He also holds a doctorate in organizational leadership from the University of Laverne. Dr. Torres, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you, Matt. It's great to be with you this morning.
It's always a pleasure to have you or anybody from COC, and we really appreciate it. So I'm constantly amazed by all the different things that y'all have going on at College of the Canyons. You are not the average community college. Y'all offer so much, and I marveled at the way you and your team pivoted during the pandemic. And now, as we're moving post-pandemic, you've kind of taken advantage of those lessons that the pandemic taught us. How have instructional offerings changed at COC in terms of in-person versus online offerings?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, we've learned quite a bit from the pandemic. Yeah, as you know, just 3 years ago, we were forced to shift to virtually completely online.
Right.
We offered a handful of lab classes in person for what were coined the essential infrastructure disciplines. But, fast forward to this upcoming fall semester, our plan is to offer about 60% of our classes in person, and that includes hybrid classes as well. So I want to be clear, a combination of in-person and online. And then about 40% of our classes are either going to be synchronous online, which we call online live, or asynchronous online, which is the more traditional online. But we've had a lot of modality changes and shifts over the last few years. Lessons learned in the pandemic. We've partnered very closely with our faculty academic senate to really reevaluate ways in which we can engage and re-engage students. And, the world that we live in today, our students are, in many cases, busy with families and work obligations, sometimes full-time. Yeah. And it really is incumbent upon the college to try to create flexibility in our scheduling, but at the same time trying to ensure that our students are able to complete their course of study, whether it's that they're coming back to reskill or upskill by taking a class or two, or if it's that they're looking to complete a certificate for industry certification purposes to move on to that next level in their career, or if it's to actually transfer and therefore complete a full associate's degree. And so whatever it is that our students are looking for across the valley, we're here to serve that need, and we are really focused on doing so in a way that provides equitable access in as many different permutations with various modalities, as well as scheduling opportunities, both short-term and full semester throughout the college.
I love that. So, like I said, taking advantage of the lessons learned from the pandemic, but also shifting to meet the needs, the changing needs of students post pandemic. A lot of people changing careers, like you said, and so you're shifting to make sure that you all are able to meet those needs in our community and constantly evolve. And speaking of constantly evolving, I understand that the upcoming semester, we're talking about fall of 2023, your schedule is going to be different to prior semesters as you continue to innovate and work to meet the new needs of your students. What new programs do we expect to offer that our community can look forward to?
Well, Matt, we're very excited. I mean, there's a lot of things that our faculty and our deans, the administration, have been working on behind the scenes to provide new opportunities, new niches, if you will, for students based on the ever-changing economy, the workforce, and just the needs of our students in general. And so I'm happy to announce just a couple that I'll highlight here, because we've got several, as you can imagine. But we are going to be bringing on, for example, a new set of classes focused on entrepreneurship. We are going to be expanding our medical laboratory technician program to include clinical laboratory sciences, so CLS. So we're very excited about that. In our visual and performing arts sector, we're going to be bringing on some new commercial music classes and bringing forth a new commercial music certificate, which we have revamped certain rooms in our Pico Canyon Hall space that's going to be specific to the commercial music program. So we're excited about premiering that. We're also very excited because it's taken us a few years, but we're finally going to be bringing forth an associate's degree in cybersecurity. It's as we know and we hear all the time, it's something that's desperately needed at all levels, and we're very excited to be bringing that on. And something that I hope to be able to talk about in just a little bit is we're also going to be bringing on a set of programming associated with advanced manufacturing to support our new advanced technology center. So hopefully we'll talk about that in just a little bit. And then that's on the credit side, Matt. And what's interesting then is on the non-credit side of the house, where, again, our non-credit classes are free, open to the public. Those are separate from credit, where you pay your standard $46 per unit. On the continuing education non-credit side, we've got a lot of neat opportunities coming forth. We've got a new medical scribe certificate where students that are looking to enter the healthcare field may want to take our medical scribe class and get a job immediately upon completion of the class. And we've also got a new crime and intelligence analysis certificate that's going to be coming forward.
Wow.
On the healthcare side, once again, we're also going to bring a new personal care aid training certificate that we're excited about. And to support our public safety students, a physical fitness preparation for entering public safety. We're going to have a new certificate for students as well. So, again, a lot of opportunities across the gamut of instruction for students as we continue to adapt to the ever-changing workforce.
I love that. You're staying out in front and making sure that, like you said, making sure that you're preparing your students for the jobs of today and tomorrow. You've got programs in entrepreneurship, visual and performing arts, cybersecurity, medicine, criminal justice. You've got all kinds of stuff, and that's just starting this semester. Let's project a little bit further out, looking forward to the next year or so. What's COC planning to offer that you believe will be of significant interest to our audience listening today?
Well, I'm definitely going to highlight one program that comes to mind immediately, Matt, and that is starting in fall of 2024, we are going to premiere with a new Firefighter Academy. It's the Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2 Academy training that members of the community will be able to enroll in and embark upon through College of the Canyons. As you probably know, we do have an existing partnership. We've had it for many years with Los Angeles County Fire, and through our instructional services agreement, we've been able to do the public safety training for firefighters in concert with LA County Fire at the Del Val location located in Saugus. But now this is going to be unique because this is going to allow, it's going to be COC's own Firefighter Academy. And the beauty is, of course, we've had a lot of conversations with LA County Fire. This will allow them to potentially redeploy some of the resources to do other training that perhaps they have not been able to do. This will allow COC to continue to meet the needs of LA County Fire and the community by providing the necessary firefighter training, and we'll be able to do so using the existing facility at Del Val, which we occupy with LA County Fire. So we're very excited. In fact, our team's been working. We recently were awarded over $2 million in federal appropriations that were earmarked specifically for the Firefighter Academy. So we're now working with our team to order the engines and the equipment and everything under the sun that you can imagine is going to be necessary in order to be able to premiere with this program a year from this fall. So we're very excited, Matt. It's going to be a great opportunity for the community and a great opportunity for our students and for the college.
Certainly a lot to be excited about. I don't know of any college in the state or nationwide that's doing as much as y'all are doing. You mentioned before the AA that you're about to offer in cybersecurity. I've heard a lot about COC being in the process of planning for a new state-of-the-art advanced technology center as well. Will you please tell me a bit about this new opportunity for our Santa Clarita Valley?
Now, great question, Matt. And so we're, you can imagine, over the moon with regards to excited about the Advanced Technology Center. This is truly going to be a world-class advanced manufacturing and technology facility that is going to help to meet the demand for skilled technicians in both the Santa Clarita Valley area as well as greater northern Los Angeles County. So I want to start with that. We're very excited to be able to fulfill that need. One of the new certificates that I wasn't able to mention earlier that we are going to start offering this fall in the new Advanced Technology Center, we have a temporary location that we will start occupying starting this fall semester, where we're going to be able to offer things like milling and tooling. We're going to be able to offer a certified production technician certificate and, of course, CNC or computerized numerical control precision machining training. All of that is going to occur at the new Advanced Technology Center. So it's very exciting. And then as we look to the future, as we look to bring on a permanent site, which we have our eyes on a potential permanent site, then in the future, we're also going to be bringing on fabrication, robotics, mechatronics, automation, certified logistics, industrial maintenance. I mean, honestly, Matt, the list goes on, but it is an amazing opportunity to position the college and to position Santa Clarita Valley in providing the necessary training for the next generation of workforce technicians and employers across northern Los Angeles County. So we are excited about this opportunity. We are fully embracing it. I think that this is going to not only support our local workforce and region, but will result in greater regionalism across Los Angeles County and even beyond. And I know that as we look to support some of the local businesses and industry, such as Amazon, DrinkPack, Woodward, Honda Performance, we're going to be able to provide some incredible skills for our students that will naturally and hopefully seamlessly transition into the workforce. So we're excited, Matt. It's a great opportunity.
As you should be. And Dr. Torres, we've only got about 30, 45 seconds left, but I know you've got an amazing, innovative campus on the east side of the valley as well. I'm talking about the Canyon Country campus. What's going on over at your Canyon Country campus?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So we've been able to expand our sciences in the new Takeda Science Center. So we're offering a gamut of high-demand science offerings through anatomy, physiology, general chemistry, physics. All of that's being offered out there. I'm really pleased because we finally have completed the construction of the new Student Services Learning Resources Center. So now we've got an expansion of opportunities for students out there through a permanent building with an enhanced library presence, tutoring learning center presence, and a lot of other complementary student services functionalities. The students that would normally access those holistically at Valencia can now do so at the Canyon Country campus. So very excited about that.
Love that. You're offering things to serve all of the needs, regardless if it's on the east side, west side of town, regardless of the area that you're looking to get into. Dr. Omar Torres, you and the team at COC are doing great things and building great leaders. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Matt Wattson. You're listening to SCVi and iLEADSchools, Eye on the Valley, on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Wattson, your host, and you're listening to SCVi and iLEADSchools Eye on the Valley. We are coming to you live from the center of Main Street here in beautiful downtown Newhall on this gorgeous St. Patrick's Day morning. I am joined now by founding director of iLEAD Agua Dulce, Lisa Latimer. Lisa grew up with a true heart for education. She attended Van Nuys High School and later the University of Laverne. Lisa Latimer began teaching at Pinecrest Schools in Lancaster. Remember Pinecrest? Way back in 1988. Sorry about that, way back, Lisa. Where she excelled, becoming an expert in early literacy. She soon rose to leadership and became the director of that very same Pinecrest School. Today, the proud mother and grandmother lives in Rancho Vista, California with her loving husband and is the founding director of iLEADS campus in Agua Dulce. She's an unashamed parrot head who spends her free time playing with her grandchildren and wasting away in Margaritaville. Lisa Latimer, good morning. Welcome back.
Hi, good morning, Matt.
So good to have you. I always enjoy spending time with you. Lisa, for our audience that doesn't know, your journey away from Pinecrest and into leadership with iLEAD is really a beautiful one. Can you tell us how you came to work for iLEAD?
Absolutely. There came a point in 2013 where Pinecrest schools were closing down, and I had already had a job lined up for when we came to the end of the year, and I received a phone call from the director at iLEAD Lancaster to come and take a look at the school as possibilities for our students and possibly staff, and that was something that was very important to me, to make sure that they all had somewhere to go. And when I walked onto the campus, I was blown away. They have an amazing exploratorium and open spaces. The philosophy, the whole culture is really signage all over the walls of what their beliefs are and philosophies and mission and vision, and it really resonated with me. And at that moment I thought, oh, I found my people. And so when I was speaking with them regarding our staff, I believe it became an impromptu way of them interviewing me as well, and me for them, and it just became I don't know, it was just very natural, and that's where I really wanted to be. And so the following year I became the director at the founding school in Castaic at SCVi, and then 3 years later they asked me if I wanted to open up a brand new school in Agua Dulce.
Yeah, when you find the right match, you just have to jump at it. And, you know, we did think that SCVi was the perfect match for you until you said 3 years later an even more perfecter match for you came along.
Yeah.
and you founded our new school in Agua Dulce. So tell us about that kind of opportunity, that point in your life. Why did you jump at the chance to be director at a new school right up the road from us in Newhall in Agua Dulce? Because it's not more money that you're chasing at, and it certainly is a lot of work to start a school.
It is, and I actually have never done a startup before, and I was very, I think, hesitant in the beginning until I walked onto the campus. And the weeds were taller than I was, and the walls were gray. It had not been used in a while, but it's in the middle of this beautiful area. Vasquez Rocks is in the backyard. We're surrounded by ranches, and I just saw the possibilities. And I am like a big picture thinker, and my mind started going, and I could not wait to get it started. So I was just very excited to jump in and make it work, and with the help of the amazing community.
Oh, the community has been just phenomenal. You had community members that didn't even have kids to send to your school helping out. And you talked about the possibilities. You really grabbed those possibilities and turned iLEAD Agua Dulce into, I've got to say, one of the most unique schools I've ever heard of, let alone spent time on. Can you talk to us about some of those unique programs within the school that you and your team have developed at iLEAD Agua Dulce?
Right, and I have an amazing team who helped with their visions as well, and we're always about let's just do it and make it work. And so we have for our TK through second grade, we have this beautiful outdoor classroom that is child-led, with activities set out with intentionality so they can tap into their sense of wonder, discovery, experimentation. We have gardens out there. We have chickens and pigs that roam the yard with the kids. And then it lends itself to this creativity, and when they're back in the classroom, they've expended that energy and they're more able to focus. But we know and value the research behind child-led play, and that's how children learn best, and so we provide them those unique opportunities for that. We also have...
Well, Lisa, before you go on to your other programs, the outdoor classroom, and I don't want to underscore the importance of play, especially for the younger ones, but it's more than just playing with the chickens and pigs. You've got a lot of rigorous academic learning happening out on the outdoor playground. Can you talk a little bit about some of the science that they do, or some of the literacy-based stuff that they do out there while they're blowing bubbles and playing with the pigs?
Right, there's always bubbles and music happening, but we also have a science area. So it has beakers and different items for the kids to be able to experiment with in their own way. One of the things that we have constantly are containers of primary colored water. So we never tell our kids or give them a worksheet to paint and mix colors and then have the teacher say, well, red and blue make purple. We let them discover that on their own through experimentation. Yeah. We have sensory bins for them to be able to utilize and create with. We have an art area, and it's not just painting with brushes, it's painting with leaves or nature, any kind of materials from nature. We go along with what their interests are. So, for instance, the kids found a bird's nest on the ground, and rather than say, stay away and throw it away, we put gloves on them. We gave them magnifying glasses and had them look at how, what bird do they think made that nest, and what is it made out of? And then the kids became more interested, so we left out books about birds, and then we left out all of the little materials that birds would need to make a nest, and then the kids made their own and became a week-long lesson for them. So we're looking at what they're interested in. We have mud kitchens, which the vocabulary in there builds because they're talking about things, and we put recipes out there for them to follow. So there's math, and we have dramatic play, so they could expand, again, their English language skills. So there's always things that are put out there with intentionality so they can have that sense of discovery.
I love that.
And builds up those educational and foundational skills.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And I don't know anybody who's ever been in your outdoor classroom who doesn't love being there. I know our state senator just got completely caught up in playing out there and learning a lot himself. But we're not just talking about the littles, because you've got a program that goes through high school. What are some of the innovative programs that you've got for even your older kids?
We do. So we have our discovery and experimentation work differently for each age, and so for our older learners, third grade and up, we have our Exploratorium, which has a lot of high-end technology and programs for them to be able to utilize. It has a lot of hands-on, like electrical circuits, and they're building a 6-foot Ferris wheel right now. There's a lot of hands-on that goes in there and programs, and they're going through the scientific process as they're going through each program. So it's rigorous, but it's also extremely engaging, and we provide opportunities. It's a lot of times the things don't work out the way that they think they're going to, and so they write down in their observation books, they collaborate with each other, and then they have to sometimes take apart and redo, and we allow them those opportunities for failure and learning from it, and that it's not devastating. It's something that happens, and we grow from it. So that is our Exploratorium, and we have our Makery, which has high power tools and hand tools, and it looks like a miniature Home Depot or Lowe's in there. It has everything you can think of for the kids to be able to utilize their design thinking skills and building things for themselves or for others, which lends itself to empathy. And then obviously utilizing and learning how to use tools is a lifelong skill that they need. We have our music lab. We started music. Many of our kids have never even held an instrument before, and now we have 5 rock bands going on, and they perform, and we have after-school workshops for that as well. They learn music theory, and we have ukuleles and basses and electric guitars, and we have a drum set. So there's a lot that's taking place in that classroom. We have our farm to table, because with our chickens, we have eggs each day, and we have an amazing garden area that grows all different kinds of vegetables and fruit, and we have grapevines and apple trees, so we utilize those ingredients, and then we use the eggs, and we have a farm-to-table baking class. And then we also have our animals. We have our furry friends, and it's not just our pigs and our chickens, but we have 3 alpaca and 2 goats and 2 micro-mini cows and a micro-mini donkey, and we have an animal program class that our kids attend each week. And so they're not only learning about the behaviors and different aspects of our own animals, but then reptiles and things that are indigenous to our area and other areas. And the kids help with the responsibility of feeding and cleaning, but it also serves a great social and emotional component for those kids who sometimes have a hard day, and being with the animals just helps to comfort them. So we love our furry friends, and we're working with a nonprofit who helped to donate the animals, because so many of them were in kill pens. So we love on them, and then we get other animals that we help to socialize and rehabilitate, and then we help to find forever homes for them. So it's a great program that we have there. We have movement, and I'm thinking we have a lot going on. I hope I didn't miss out on anything.
You've got so much going on, and you're absolutely right about, the kids are learning so much. They're learning so much about state content standards, about empathy from just the animals, let alone some of these amazing projects you've got going on. And you're right, it is so therapeutic. I've been on your campus having a rough day, and it is so helpful just to throw your arm around an alpaca and explain it to him. And for those of you that don't know, an alpaca looks a lot like a llama, but he won't spit in your face. So it is very therapeutic. So, Lisa, I mentioned all the projects you've got going on. You've got tons of projects constantly happening. In fact, you've been sending me a lot of videos to post on your social media, which is great. What has been maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite projects that the learners at your school, iLEAD Agua Dulce, have been working on this year?
I want to say right now our first and second graders are getting ready to launch a new project, and it's regarding business and entrepreneurialism. So they're learning about money, they're learning about their community. So it's really, how can our community help us to become better people? And so they're learning that through farmers market. So they're meeting with experts and farmers, and they're going to be creating their own farmers market. So they're going to really hone in on those math skills, and then also learning how to sell and the whole business aspect. And then we're bringing in people from the community to have that tie. And a lot of their writing and their reading will come from those components as well. So everything ties in together, and it helps the kids to see what they're learning is applicable to their real world. Another one of my very favorite projects was our government project, where the kids had to learn about the 3 branches of government and how they can make a change even as an 8 or 9-year-old. And so they learned about the branches, and they made little changes on our campus, and the project was pretty much over, and they were getting ready to launch their next project, and they took a walk to Vasquez Rocks. And it's quite dangerous, and the kids could not understand why they didn't have a stop sign or a signal there. And so the facilitator said, well, what did you just learn? We just learned about the processes of making change. What can you do? They wrote a letter. They invited the town council out. The town council had them read their letters at a council meeting where it was voted unanimously to bring out a surveyor to see what they can do to make the road safe. In the process, Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger's office was there. They were incredibly impressed. They came out to meet with the kids and to see about the dangers. And then 2 months later, all of a sudden we see the workers out there installing optical speed bumps. So really that's project-based learning. It's learning how to make a change within your community and applying your foundational skills that you've learned to make the world a better place.
So it's not just real-world learning. It's learning that is impacting the world for real. Lisa Latimer,
exactly.
founding director of iLEAD Agua Dulce, joins me this morning. When we get back, we're going to hear about more of the unbelievable things that she and her team are doing with their learners and how your child can be a part of it all. I'm Matt Wattson with Lisa Latimer on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLEADSchools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Wattson, and I'm joined this morning by Lisa Latimer, founding director of iLEAD Agua Dulce Charter School. Lisa, we were talking about some of the amazing things happening at your school before the break, and I know you were founded just a few years ago as a kindergarten through 5th grade school, but you've grown. You've actually grown in both directions. You now serve transitional kindergarten through 10th grade. You're adding 11th grade next year. Can you talk a little bit about your high school program? Because I think that might be a program that folks don't actually realize you offer. You've got the coolest high school program in town. What makes your high school so unique?
I think what makes it unique is the model. So we are a hybrid, and our learners come 4 days a week. That's the expectation. And on Fridays, they have a flex day, whether they want to come in and get some one-on-one with the facilitators and be able to really hone in on areas where they may need support or want to move ahead. But it is a very individualized program. We have an amazing space for them, so you're not going to walk in and see desks. You're going to see a space that the kids designed themselves to make the learning more enjoyable and to have a more relaxed environment while they're doing rigorous work. And our kids are also have the opportunities to partake in the amazing programs that we have, such as the Exploratorium and Farm to Table, which is actually some of their favorite classes. And but they also have a career technical education class in regards to entrepreneurialism and business, and it's taking that into a deeper level and helping them to see different perspectives culturally and globally. And so it's very much like a boutique type of program and very individualized, where they get a lot of one-on-one support. In addition, they participate in the Model United Nations. In fact, they're getting ready to go to USC in a couple of weeks to participate in that program. And they also have different opportunities for expanding their own views within their little bubble and seeing what is out there in the world. And so they're going to be provided opportunities for internships. And right now they have mentors in different areas and what they're passionate in. So we provide mentorships for them as well.
So a lot of rigor, a lot of, like you said, one-on-one attention. I know that you're, especially in the high school, your student-to-teacher ratio is really small. So kids are getting tons of attention, which allow them to just move forward at an incredible pace. I know you've also been approved for the candidacy phase of the International Baccalaureate program, and families, parents in the Santa Clarita Valley are really starting to get on board figuring out what the IB or International Baccalaureate program is. Can you explain just a little bit about what being an IB school would mean for iLEAD Agua Dulce learners?
Right. Some schools have AP programs, and we decided to go with the International Baccalaureate, and it's recognized worldwide. It's not just a national program, but it is all over the world. And this is an extremely rigorous program, and we've applied it to our CTE path of business and entrepreneurialism. And so rather than just learning about the sectors of business and organization and environment and business functions, we're also, the IB program is helping them to understand it culturally, ethically, globalization, innovation, and strategy. So it takes them to a higher level so they are fully prepared, because we don't know what the workforce is going to look like even within the next couple of years, but we know that our kids need to think on a global level and understand diversity and working, being able to critically think on that level. So it's very good to have on your resume for when you apply for colleges. It's very highly looked at, and so we are in our candidacy and very excited to begin that program. And we're also fully WASC accredited through the Western Associations of Schools and Colleges, and we're very proud to have that as well.
Yeah, so gosh, amazingly fun things and rigorous things. It just everything that school should be, and more going on at iLEAD Agua Dulce. And we talked already a little bit about your campus, your physical campus. It is probably the largest campus physically that we have in our iLEAD network. And you've got a lot going on. You talked about the animals and the outdoor play space. But can you tell us a little bit about, some of the other things that are growing on your campus?
The other things that are growing.
So you've got a garden, you've got an orchard, you've got all different kinds of things happening on campus there.
We try to utilize each space, and then we have our learners come up with ideas. So yes, I think I talked about the gardens earlier. We have amazing gardens and a lot of green thumbs, and so our kids research what kind of plants would grow very well and thrive, and then especially with the vegetables, because we're growing that to use for our farm to table class that we have. But we also have an area for entrepreneurialism as well. We have what's called our creation station, and our kids anywhere from third graders all the way through high school have ideas of things that they want to create, make, and sell, and they have to come up with a business proposal, a presentation for permission to be able to do so. And we have a shed that they had created a mural on, and that becomes our little business center. And our kids take the money that they are making and they're donating it, and this is all on their own, to different programs on our school to be able to help those programs thrive. And we're very, very proud of all of the hard work our kids have put in with that.
Yeah, and your kids are absolutely embracing it. I remember a couple of months ago I was on your campus, and one of your learners walked by wearing a suit and had a briefcase in hand, handed me his business card, and told me that if I ever needed anything to let him know. It is absolutely fantastic. So, Lisa, it's funny. One of the things that people ask when I talk about our schools is, and I know folks ask you when they talk to you about iLEAD Agua Dulce, you're, like you said, a small boutique school that offers just something really for all kinds of affinity. You've got the outdoor playground, or the outdoor classroom. You've got the animals that kids are learning about. You've got a great entrepreneurialism program. You've got the rock band program where, gosh, those kids are just wailing the last time I went in. You've got the makery. You've got so much going on. So how much is tuition at your school? It's got to be, something this small, unique, and rigorous has got to be expensive, right?
You would think, but no, our program is free. We are a public charter school, and we are a school of choice, so you don't have to live in the area to be able to attend. We do have a lottery that we have. Actually, the lottery will take place at the end of March. But we're open to anybody within Ventura, Los Angeles County area, Antelope Valley. We have learners come from all different areas, and like I said, it's free. And I do want to say that with all of our amazing programs, this was done intentionally because we do not want our kids to dread coming to school. We want to make it a very joyful experience, and where they're wanting to be challenged and learn to work through hard things. And being here and making it joyful makes them want to work harder and strive for more. And that's what the most important thing is on our campus, because we do work hard in the classrooms, but we want to make sure that we have all different kinds of opportunities for our kids to learn about things that are out there and to tap into their own passions.
Yeah, learning about things that are real to them, things that are real
Mm-hmm.
in their world and in our world, um, and you make it a fun place to go to school. I know, whenever I'm there are kids, they'll climb up trees and sit in a tree while they're having lunch, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I always dreaded as a teacher rainy days because that meant that kids were stuck in the classroom all day with me, and I didn't even get the recess break. But for y'all, rainy days at iLEAD, I would all say, are the opportunity to go outside. I know all of your learners bring a change of clothes in case it rains because they're coming
They
home
do.
muddy.
They do. We leave our shoes outside. They are allowed to play in the rain because they don't melt, and kids need movement, and they need to be able to expand that energy, because if they don't, then it makes it really tough inside the classroom, and it's good for their physical and mental well-being. And so everything we do is research-based, and it's been proven, and we don't mind it. It does get hard on our amazing maintenance staff sometimes, but it's worth it, and even with the trees, they're building their core muscles, which then helps their brain,
Yep.
And so we do allow for a lot of movement here.
Yeah, and I had somebody ask me recently, but don't the kids get hurt sometimes? And the answer is, well, yeah. Let's think about it. If you're 8, 10, 12 years old and you're not getting bumps and bruises, you're not exploring enough. You're not living life enough. And kids bounce, right? They'll get bumped and they'll learn.
They do. We have these four-wheeled scooters that the kids love to race on and push themselves on, and many times they'll come into the office with bloody knees, and they're like, just give me a Band-Aid, I want to go back outside.
Right.
And so they'll slap
Patch
a
it up and send me
Band-Aid,
back
and they'll go back outside. But that is also very much intentional, because our kids need to build that coordination. The research is finding that our kids are 50% less healthy than kids were back in the 1950s, and that's because they are not able to run on the blacktop and have the opportunities to expend that energy. And so it's really, really important that they do that.
Yeah, super important. Now, Lisa, I know you recently hosted your kindergarten and TK roundup. You also had your high school information night. I can't help but think that there's families listening right now wondering how their kids can be able to attend such an amazing school like yours. If families are interested, they missed your kindergarten roundup, they missed your high school information night. Is it too late to enroll?
It's not too late to enroll, and we do give tours at 10 a.m. every Thursday. And so if they want to go to our iLEAD Agua Dulce Facebook page and our website, they can see the amazing things that do take place and sign up for a tour, or just give us a call at 661-268-6386. And we'll get them on a list to take a tour. I give the tours along with our our learner ambassadors, and this way they get the perspective from our kids as well.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always hear when a learner leads the tour is adults always marvel, wow, they're so articulate. It's amazing how kids will develop if we just step back and don't tell them that their voice is less important than an adult's. So it is important to have the learners leading those tours.
Absolutely, and I think one of the most stressful things is public speaking, and so we start them at a very young age. We have classroom greeters, we have kids who give the tours, and so they're very used to public speaking, and that helps them when they go out into when they leave here and move on.
It is such an important skill for developing leadership. So you mentioned that you have your enrollment lottery. That's when families find out whether or not they got a space. So what's the deadline to enroll or to fill out your application so that families get into the lottery?
March 26th is our last day. They can still enroll afterwards. We just can't guarantee spots. They do go very quickly, but March 26th is when everything needs to be turned in, and our lottery takes place at the end of March.
So families that are listening, I'm going to give you an insider tip. If you want to make sure that your child gets into the lottery, I know you need to take a tour. You want to go take a tour and make sure that it's the right place. But even before you take a tour, go on to the iLEAD Agua Dulce website, click Enroll Now, fill out the application, and I know you're thinking, well, Matt, I want to take a tour before I decide for sure. Right. Go ahead and fill out the application. There's nothing that binds you to it. It's a non-binding contract. It's not even a contract. Just fill out the application, get your name on the list, sign up for a tour. Then when you take a tour, if you decide it's not for you, you can just let them know you're withdrawing from the lottery. That's not a problem. But make sure that your kid gets on the list for that lottery by hitting the enroll button at iLEADaguadulce.org. Sign up for a tour, take a tour. Trust me, you're not going to pull your kid out once you take a tour. You see this school, you're going to fall in love with it. When you fall in love with it, your kid will never want to leave. So iLEAD Agua Dulce is enrolling for TK through high school, iLEADaguadulce.org. Anything else that you wanted to share before we go, Lisa?
No, and check out our iLEAD Agua Dulce Facebook page. We are constantly posting videos and pictures of our projects that we do in the class, and so you can get a good feel of what it's about before you take a tour.
Absolutely. You guys are a great social media follow. You're posting videos and pictures, and it's actually a great way to virtually tour the school is just following iLEAD Agua Dulce on social media. Mm-hmm. Lisa, I wanted to thank you for joining us this morning. The things that you are doing for your learners, as young as 4, as old as 16, 17, 18 years old at iLEAD Agua Dulce, is absolutely amazing. Gosh, I couldn't even sum it up if I tried to catch everything. But I want to thank you for joining us. You have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Matt. Take care.
You too. All right, you stick around. It is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. This is SCVi and iLEADSchools' Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Wattson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLEADSchools' Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Wattson, but now it is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Y'all know Big T. Big T is a longtime resident and leader here in Santa Clarita. He is an executive and a philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and community leader. And Big T actually once found a 4-leaf clover growing out of his nose. Here he is, everybody. He's Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Whoa, that's inappropriate.
Is that inappropriate? I'm sorry about that.
Do you want me to do the whole show in my Irish accent?
I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
Speaking of which, it is St. Patrick's Day. Big T, you do have a little Irish in you, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, all right.
As do you, I think.
I do. You and I share DNA, so that would make sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
you learn something new every day.
Right. Hey, Big T, here's the first trivia question. What does DNA stand for?
I don't know.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. Hey, Big T, Engineer Andrew is joining us on the ones and twos this morning.
Good morning.
Fantastic. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
All righty, so Big T, you've got trivia for us, and I just want to set it up. Andrew, I know you know the deal. When Big T throws out his questions, you and I are going to hit our buzzers. Our buzzers are our names. You're going by Andrew, I'm guessing?
Yes.
All righty,
yes,
I'll go by Frogger, because Matt sounds too much like Andrew, I guess. Those of you playing at home, yes, you can play along too. You've got a significant advantage because you don't have to hit your buzzer. Just shout out the answer. See if you can beat Andrew and I. I will warn you, he and I are both pretty good at this. So, Big T, what have you got for us?
Well, I want to kick things off on St. Patrick's Day, Matt, with a little Irish limerick.
An Irish
It's one of Mom's favorites, of course.
All right.
So, you've heard it. May those who love us, and for those who don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles, so we'll know them by their limping.
All right, yeah. That's
all right.
An Irish blessing.
So exciting. What a great way to start off the show, yeah?
Right. I hope those that hate us are crippled. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Got some NC2A basketball first.
Love it.
I've got a couple of teams, and what you're going after here is the mascots. So there may be some that are just a single team. There may be some of them that are lumped together, so we'll kick it off. Holler when you know it. Drake, UNC Asheville, Mississippi State, Gonzaga.
Andrew.
I got Andrew first.
Bulldogs?
Yep.
Bulldogs is correct.
I thought I had it in there, but I didn't want to pull. Yeah.
Yeah. Northwestern,
Andrew.
Kansas State. Andrew.
The Lions.
Incorrect. Froggy, you want the rest of the question?
I do.
Kansas State, Kentucky, Arizona.
Okay, Froggy. Well, I drew a blank. I'm like, why can't it's the Wildcats?
The Wildcats.
That's my alumni school. Come on.
Wildcats.
Single team, Grand Canyon University.
Frogger. The Lopes.
Go Lopes, Antelopes. Texas Christian University.
Andrew.
Oh, Frogger.
Andrew.
The Horned Frogs.
Horned Frogs is correct.
Why is that funny, Andrew?
Texas Southern, Memphis, Princeton, Auburn.
Frogger.
They're
the Tigers.
Tigers is correct. Kansas.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Jayhawks.
Jayhawks, Rock Chalk.
Rock Chalk, baby.
San Diego State.
Andrew. Aztecs.
Andrew. Aztecs is
Have
correct.
you seen their helmets, their football helmets?
Fantastic.
Oh,
Love
coolest
'em.
football helmets in the
So
sport,
good.
pro or amateur.
Maybe soon to be in the Pac-12?
Back 8. Duke.
Andrew.
State. Andrew first.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Devils.
We'll go with Devils because we got the Devils theme. Blue Devils, Sun Devils.
Okay, certainly Duke is Duke. They're on TV more than Leave It to Beaver. Reruns.
All right. 2 more of these. Purdue.
Andrew.
Andrew.
The Boilermakers.
There you go.
Boilermakers is correct. And last one. UCSB.
Frogger.
Frogger.
They're the Gauchos.
Gauchos.
Would you have
Gauchos.
accepted
we also have
Cowboys?
the World Base. Yes, of course.
All right.
Although that's Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
During live play, what is the maximum number of baseball players that could be on a field at once?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Pause while I do the math. We got 9,
Is there a time limit?
10, 11, 12.
Right? 5 minute show, Maddie.
13. Wait. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Carry the one.
Okay, so I've got a technicality. If we're counting the on deck circle as on field,
Okay.
it's 14. Otherwise, it's 13.
No. 13 is correct. The on deck circle is not on the field of play.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Okay. How many people appear in Da Vinci's Last Supper?
Frogger.
Frogger.
All of them. It's 13.
And 13 is correct.
Mel Brooks was on the other side of the camera.
What's the largest web-footed bird?
Andrew.
Andrew.
I was going to say ostrich. Threw me off.
Incorrect.
Threw me off with a web foot.
Frogger, you got anything?
Frogger, I'm going flamingo.
That is incorrect. Next question, same answer. In golf, 1 under par is a birdie, 2 under par is
Frogger.
a
Oh,
okay.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Frogger. Albatross.
Albatross is correct.
Do I get 2 points?
You get 1 point for that.
I figured.
Phil Collins took over as lead singer for the rock band Genesis after the departure of which singer?
Ooh. Frogger.
Frogger.
Glenn Fry.
Incorrect. You got anything, Andrew?
Got nothing.
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel, that's right.
Okay.
On what religious holiday was Abe Lincoln assassinated?
That one.
Frogger.
Celebration.
Anything? Frogger.
Ash Wednesday.
Close.
Andrew,
Ash
Easter.
Thursday. There's no Ash Thursday.
Andrew, what was that?
I said Easter.
No, Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Other than that, how was the theater, Mrs. Lincoln?
2 stars.
What leader started the Reformation after posting his 95 theses on the
Andrew.
door of the castle church?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther's correct. Nice pull.
There you go. Tied up.
Crude oil is often discussed in terms of price per what?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Barrel.
Barrel's correct.
Boy, that question took a turn. I was going petroleum, barrel.
Which peanut comic character offers Psychiatric advice for 5
Frogger.
cents. Frogger.
Lucy.
Lucy's correct.
Lucy Van Pelt, if
Bigger
we're being
than the
very
pla-
specific.
Oh.
Yep. Bigger than the planet Mercury. What's the name of Saturn's largest moon?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
Titan?
Titan's correct. Nice pull.
Oh.
In 2016, Microsoft paid $26 billion for what networking website used by business professionals?
Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's correct. Nice
yeah,
pull.
that was when you had to wait for the full
Yep.
question for it.
Yeah, exactly. A system that prevents internet users from accessing web content without a paid subscription is
Frogger.
called? Frogger.
Oh, a paywall.
Paywall's correct. Nice.
Oh.
Again, these
Broadway
questions
shows
are
and
taking
other
turns.
businesses often. What's that?
These questions are taking turns. It's like, I think I got it, I think I got it. No, totally different answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Broadway shows and startup businesses often seek out what type of heavenly investor?
Oh.
Andrew. I had angel donor. I
Andrew.
had no idea.
Angel investor. Yeah.
Hey, okay.
I was going with Sugar Daddy, but I knew that was wrong.
The LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. What does LCM stand for?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Sorry, man, I taught 4th grade. Lowest common multiple.
Lowest common multiple is correct. We will also accepted least. J.M. Smuckers makes Smuckers jam, Jif peanut butter, and what cat food that cats ask for by name?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Meow Mix.
Yeah, you had to sing the jingle.
Like that commercial?
Right? I'm just thinking.
Now it's in my head.
Okay, Smuckers, we make jelly.
Right.
Well, making peanut butter is a natural next step. And then, of course,
Of course.
cat food. It'll add crunch to your
Yes,
PB&J.
Hey, and all 3 of them sometimes eaten by senior citizens, but you don't have to if you've got the senior center with their Meals on Wheels program.
Oh,
There you go.
Lord. Mom's going to kill you.
What is the most widely spoken language in Brazil?
Frogger.
Andrew.
Frogger than Andrew.
I got Portuguese.
Portuguese is correct. What does the white dove symbolize?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Peace.
Peace is correct.
I thought it was ferocity.
Who is Shrek's wife?
Andrew.
Oh.
Andrew.
Princess Fiona.
Princess Fiona, yes. What's the first letter of the Greek alphabet?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Sounded like a Frogger?
What? No, it's not Frogger. It's Alpha.
Alpha's right. Which famous person was the teddy bear named after?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes.
That is correct. Teddy Roosevelt. What is the name of the vehicle that Scooby-Doo and his friends travel
Andrew.
in?
Oh.
Andrew.
The Mystery Machine.
Mystery Machine is correct. We'll stay on that. Who was for more than 25 years?
Frogger.
Who was the voice of Shaggy? Go ahead.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem is correct. What building is on the back of a $20 bill?
Frogger.
I'm gonna reach into my wallet.
Frogger.
Engineer Andrew pulled out his wallet, but he's only got hundos in there. It is the Lincoln Memorial.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
Oh, the Jefferson Building.
That is incorrect. It's the White House.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
1 point. Name the top 3 causes of death in the United States.
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
Heart disease. Cancer. And getting between Frogger and his corned beef and cabbage.
It's pretty close. You got 2 out of 3.
All right. You got the next one, Andrew?
Car accidents.
It's actually stroke.
Oh.
Oh. Alrighty, I'm taking a point on that one. We got time for one more question, Big T.
Perfect. In which city was Jesus born?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem's correct.
I've been there. I saw where it happened.
You seen it.
Yeah. All right, Big T, we do have to go. And Andrew, we were neck and neck. We were kind of going back and forth there
Tell me
for a
you
little
won
bit.
that last one.
And then I did pull away. No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't the last one. And I ain't bragging, but it was the last 4.
Oh.
I'm lying. I am bragging. All right, Big T, thanks for swinging by. We also want to thank our guest, Nicole Miller, president of the Zonta Club of Santa Clarita Valley and SCVi Charter School, Dr. Omar Torres from COC, Lisa Latimer with iLEAD Agua Dulce, producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, engineer Carlos, Big T, and thank you for listening. Remember, life is hard, but we are all here to help each other along. Be good and do well. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Wattson, and this is SCVi and iLEADSchools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.